Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. The 2024 Pittsburgh Pro guest posing is in the history books, and we have a lot to talk about. So you guys are currently looking at, from left to right, Hunter Labrada, Samson Dauda, Nick Walker, Derek Lunsford, Martin Fitzwater, Andrew Jack, Kalecinski, and late entry Ramon Dino. Again, Big Rami was unable to make it due to visa delays. Moshe Bun got sick prior to the guest posing. He was able to make it, but he was unable to guest pose. Now, I'm pretty sure the question that everyone has, who impressed the most at this year's Pittsburgh Pro guest posing? And honestly, I don't think any one bodybuilder really stood out. I was the most impressed by Derek and Nick, and I'll even throw Andrew Jack into there as well. This guy is massive. Of course, Martin Fitzwater looks very impressive at 1 week out. Kalecinski, for some reason, is very conditioned at this guest posing, and Samson Dauda is natural or close to that. And honestly, with so many high-level bodybuilders on the stage, it's kind of hard to just focus on one person. But let's start with the champ, Derek Lunsford, who really impressed me at this Pittsburgh Pro guest posing. Derek is absolutely massive here, and honestly, what impressed me the most was the size of his legs. And I'm hopeful that as Derek dies down later in this year for the Mr. Olympia, he is able to maintain that size on his legs. The only real critique I have about Derek is the chest still needs to come up. The arms definitely look improved, but it just makes the chest looks like it's lagging even more. The champ looks on par to bringing an improved package later this year to this year's Mr. Olympia. And next, I do want to focus in on the mutant Nick Walker. And I do think it's safe to say that Nick looks the best at this guest posing, but again, he is only 1 week out from the New York Pro. And I've already heard a few people say, Nick looks great, but I was expecting him to look a little bit better. And I'll tell you guys right now, don't worry about how Nick looks at this guest posing too much. Nick still has about a week until the New York Pro, and honestly, all of these guys are very good bodybuilders and can change very fast. Now let's focus in on Andrew Jack, the man, the myth, the Mona Lisa. What I actually noticed about Andrew the most is the arms. His arms looked absolutely massive to me here. And of course, Andrew stands out the most, being the tallest guy and having that crazy X-frame. I'm excited to see what Andrew is going to bring to this year's Dubai Pro. He was going to do the Arnold Classic, but decided to pull out, just had a lot going on in his personal life. But I really think the extra time off is going to do Andrew's physique some good. And tomorrow or Monday, we will break these guys down in detail one by one once we have HD videos. But for now, I just want to give you guys kind of a general overview of what I think about this guest posing. So as far as Samson Dauda goes, there really isn't much for me to say. Again, Samson is natural right now or very close to that. And we've talked a lot about him as of recent. Samson will be going over to Oxygen Gyms to train until this year's Olympia and still being coached by his wife. Hunter Labrada is absolutely massive here, but Hunter always posts full physique updates, so we kind of already know what he looks like. And I almost skipped over Martin Fitzwater, who looks incredible at this guest posing. And Martin is also only 1 week out from the New York Pro. And you know, thinking about it, Martin didn't really have a reason to do the New York Pro. He's already qualified for this year's Olympia. He's going to be going up against Nick Walker, so chances of winning are a little bit slim, but credit to Martin just for pretty much doing the show, giving the fans something to see and giving us something to talk about. But I'm going to say the same thing about Martin that I said about Nick. Don't worry too much about how these guys look at this guest posing. They're going to look completely different on stage at the New York Pro. The only thing I would really worry about here is conditioning, and Martin and Nick have pretty good conditioning. Now lastly, let's talk about the two classic physique guys, Kalecinski as well as Ramon Dino. And as I said earlier, Ramon Dino was a late entry. He wasn't on any of the flyers going into the show. It's possible they reached out to Ramon after Big Rami said he was going to be unable to make it, or maybe Ramon was supposed to be here the entire time. But either way, looks like Kalecinski definitely made sure he came in decent shape, so he looked very good at this guest posing, because the conditioning isn't even comparable. But Ramon is at the off season. There's nothing wrong with him being a little bit fluffy, but Kalecinski looks like he's not too far away from show condition. But not gonna say like Heidi Chupin, but Erz is a guy that honestly pretty much is conditioned year round. Even in the off season, he has cross striations in the quads, but he did try to get Chris Bumstead to pose down, but of course, Chris politely declined. But that's going to be the wrap up on this year's Pittsburgh Pro guest posing, guys. Once again, we will go into a little bit more detail later this week about every individual one by one. As always, I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video, and if you have not done so already, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm Krishan from Go Fitness, and that's it. I'm out.